Sex and the City was a popular TV programme, a not-so-popular film franchise, following the lives of 4 ladies in Manhattan. It also shares its initials with sine, all, tan and cos, the 4 quadrants of the cast diagram, but written left to right and top to bottom. Let's start with a quick explanation of where the Sex and the City diagram comes from. The graphs of sine x, cos x and tan x are shown on the right. Each graph has been highlighted to show for which angles it is positive and for which it is negative. All are positive between 0 and 90 degrees, but only sine is positive between 90 and 180. Only tan is positive between 180 and 270, and only cos is positive between 270 and 360. So these facts can all be represented in this diagram as shown, with all between 0 and 90, s between 90 and 180, and so on. So how do I use it? This is how you use it. Firstly, whether or not your trig function is positive or negative, pretend it is positive, and find the inverse trig function. This will be an acute angle. Now draw this acute angle adjacent to the x-axis in the 2 appropriate quadrants. If the trig function is positive, these quadrants will be A and the initial of the trig function. If the trig function is negative, it will be the other 2. Now calculate both angles, travelling anti-clockwise from 0, where 0 is the positive x-axis as shown above. Examples. Sine x is 0.5. The inverse sine of 0.5 is 30 degrees. Since 0.5 is positive, we draw the 30 degree angle adjacent to the x-axis in the A and S quadrants. Tan x is minus 7. The inverse tan of 7 is 82 degrees. But since minus 7 is negative, we draw the 82 degree angle adjacent to the x-axis in the S and C quadrants, i.e. not A and T. Examples. Example 1. Sine x is 0.5. We start off as before, working out the inverse sine of 0.5, which is 30 degrees. We draw lines at 30 degrees to the horizontal, where sine is positive, in A and S, and then we find the angles anticlockwise, which are 30 degrees and 150 degrees, i.e. 180 minus 30. Example 2. Cos x is 0.83. The inverse cos of 0.83 is 34 degrees, so we draw lines at 34 degrees to the horizontal, where cos is positive, and that's in the A and C quadrants. Then the angles anticlockwise are 34 degrees and 326 degrees, which is 360 minus 34. Example 3. Tan x is minus 7. As before, the inverse tan of positive 7 is 82 degrees, so we draw lines at 82 degrees to the horizontal, where tan is negative, which are the S and C quadrants. Then the angles anticlockwise from 0 are 98 degrees and 278 degrees. And to finish off, here are the 6 diagrams, 3 for sine, cos and tan being positive, and 3 for sine, cos and tan being negative, and where you draw the acute angles.